Hello friends, welcome to my channel Education Warrior V. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about section B. Like in my last video, I have discussed about section A for class 12 English subject. Now in today's video, we are going to talk about section B, that is grammar plus writing section. Apart from that, we'll come to know about that what are the marks distribution and how we should approach that particular topic to get good marks in board examination, right? So like in yesterday's video, I have discussed about section A, that is purely literature section. In that, prose, poetry, drama, short stories and figure of speech is there. And but like talking about section B, so far as section B is concerned, so in that you will see there is general English. So they're going to ask for 8 marks question. Apart from that, you have vocabulary, that is word power, like synonyms, antonyms, one word substitution, homophones, idioms and phrases. So out of that, they'll be asking for 14 marks question. Apart from that, you have translation. So like since class 9, you're talking about since class 6, 7, 8, like you might be learning tenses, you are asked to translate few sentences into English. This time you will be given a paragraph. Out of that, they'll be asking you to translate that from Hindi to English. And then apart from that, you have one essay writing, that's going to be for 12 marks question. And next, at last, they'll be asking for one unseen passage or unseen paragraph, or one paragraph will be there that you might not have read that, and out of that they'll be asking 3 questions that will be of 6 marks. So in total that will be of 50 marks, like section A. So 50 plus 50, that is going to be your 100 marks. Now this is what the marks distribution. Now you are well acquainted with the syllabus for section A and section B, but now what are the specifications and exactly what kind of a question they used to ask? And while reading prose, while reading poetry, while reading play, talking about short stories, or like what kind of a question they're going to ask from figure of speech, so we should know. Why? Because if we know about it, so exactly we can approach the topic or a subject or talking about that particular chapter wisely and can get the maximum marks in the board examination. And talking about section B, apart from that, grammar, you already know that that is vocabulary question based questions, and then you have translation, you have essay, you have unseen passage. So like accordingly, that's how we have to try, and we have to understand its word limit as well. Now moving on, and let's talk everything in detail today. Why? Because in last my video, like as I have discussed, it was just the marks distribution that I have discussed. Apart from that, the topics I have told you. Now like in recently I have discussed about section B and talking about its topic as well. Now let's discuss in detail, and let's talk about the word limit. Let's talk about that what should be our approach towards attending the question, and the way we should read those topics to get the maximum marks, as we all have been wishing for. Now moving on from the prose, let's move in detail. So talking about prose, so there will be an explanation with reference to the context. One passage, one paragraph will be there out of 7 chapters, and that's what you need to explain. I mean that there should be a reference, there should be context, and there should be explanation, and it will be of 8 marks question. Moving on, what next question they can ask from prose? So there will be one short question. Remember, there will be 3 questions there in examination, but out of 3 you have to attempt only 1, and that will be of 4 marks. Moving on, then you'll be given fill in the blanks kind of a questions, means whatever lines you might have read going through your chapters, whatever chapter it is. So out of that, 4 lines will be there, 1 word will be missing there, and that you need to fill that 1 word, right word, out of given those 4 options there. So this kind of 4 questions will be there, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it will be of 4 marks in total. Moving on, talking about poetry, as I have already discussed about that. Out of poetry, what you need to see that there will be 2 kind of questions from poetry. One will be general idea question, right, like you might have already done in class 11th, and one more question there that you need to explain there. You need to explain one extract, one stanza will be there out of 10 poems. In class 12 as well, you have to study 10 poems. Out of those 10 poems, you need to identify, you need to recognize that out of which poem this stanza has been given, and then you need to explain that with reference to the context. Moving on to the play side now. So you already know that you in your syllabus there is a one play, that is The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. So like previously 2 years back they used to ask long questions, also short questions as well, but now they have cut it short to long questions only. So they will be asking 2 questions, long answer type questions. Out of that you need to answer only 1 question, and that will be of 8 marks. Apart from that, let's talk about short stories. In your syllabus there are 4 short stories. Out of those 4 short stories they'll be asking 3 questions, 3 short questions, but 3 out of 3 short answer type questions you need to answer 2. You need to attempt 2 short answer type questions there, so that each will be of 4 marks. So 4 plus 4, that is of 8 marks. Apart from that, talking about figures of speech. So in figures of speech, like you might have read that simile, metaphor, hyperbole, and then apostrophe, you have onomatopoeia, and then you have oxymoron. So out of these 7 figures of speech, they'll be asking you to define it with 2 examples. So it will be of 4 marks, 2 marks for definition and 2 marks for your 2 examples there. So this is all about the section A in detail, that what kind of a question they are going to ask. Now let's move on to the section B. In section B, like as already discussed about that the first general English, out of general English it's grammar, right? Like you can understand it. So I mean, what topics we need to study and how we should go about it. I mean, what kind of a questions, how many questions, and then what marks will be there. So we need to understand that. So the first question will be there, that is from indirect speech, that is narration. That will be of 2 marks. In class 11th you might have read that next synthesis, right? So synthesis will be of 2 marks, and then you have transformation. In that's what we learned already in class 11. So transformation will be of 2 marks, and then syntax, where you need to correct 2 sentences out of 4 given sentences. Sorry, and that 4 sentences, out of that 4 sentences you need to correct only 2 sentences there. So even that will be of 2 marks there. Moving on to the vocabulary section. So out of that vocabulary section, what kind of questions will be there? The first will be their synonym. 3 synonyms, 3 words will be given. Synonym is paravachi. Then you have your antonym. Antonym is that is vilom shabd. You have homophones. Homophones, they are like 2 words which have the same pronunciation, but they have a different spelling and a different meaning as well. That will be of 2 marks. And then you will have 1 word substitution question. अनेकार्थी शब्दों के लिए एक शब्द, like you might have read in Hindi as well. So that will be of 3 marks. And then you have idioms and phrases, that will be of 3 marks. That is from the vocab section. So 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. So that all goes for 14 marks. Moving on to the next, you have 1 Hindi paragraph given. That's what you need to translate, and that will be of 10 marks. Moving on, next question, that will be essay writing question. 3 to 4 topics will be given there. Out of that you need to select 1, and then you need to write an essay. Word limit will be there, and that will be of 12 marks. Moving on to the last question of your paper, that will be unseen passage, unseen paragraph. Unseen paragraph, that will be of 6 marks, because they'll be asking 3 questions out of it. 2 plus 2 plus 2, that will be the mark division, mark distribution there. So in total that's going to be of 100 marks question. Now in my next video I'll talk about it section, I mean talking about those topic wise, like talking about prose. I'll discuss that how we need to understand our prose chapters, and while reading it out, what topics, what thing we need to more concentrate at, so that we can get maximum out of it and can get more marks in our examination. So that's how I'll discuss. I hope you like it. Whatever queries you have, in case any doubt, any question, you can comment me, can text me, can ask me about it. I hope you like the video and you will share it to your friends as well. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.